Okay, cordial greetings, dear tutor and classmates. Today we are going to present a research project called EC2 Strategies and English Classes. Okay, very important. The different keywords for this research, for example, technology, motivation, participation, learning, vision. It's also to remember that this project analyzes how ECT tools and participatory strategies can improve motivation and engagement in only online English classes, especially in A2 virtual learning environments. Okay, and so the participants for this project are Juan David Lancheros Monje, Laura Alejandra Méndez Marín, Diana Yolanda Molina Salazar, Dani Juliet Muñoz Rojas y Kerly Vanessa Osorio Rojas. Okay, and to begin this, is a little introduction about this research. This research was developed because during online English classes, we identified an important problem. Why? Many students were passive, silent, and disconnected during classes or lessons. Yes, when classes moved from face to face environments to virtual platforms. Yes, and interactions change completely. Students often keep their camera off, avoid participation, and produce very little English orally. Yes, because of this situation, we decide to explore how technological tools and interactive methodologies could transform the learning experience um, in each student. Important or many focus wasn't only technology itself, yes, but how technology can be used pedagogically to increase participation and motivation. Very important this point, okay? And now we can see them. Here is okay. We can see this slide about an abstract with research missions. I'm sorry, and contextual focus. Okay, here we can see the main objective of this action research study was to analyze how TIC mediate, or I'm sorry, ECT mediate participatory strategies influence students' motivation and active in online English classes. Important, the study was carried out in virtual A2 English learning environments where students showed low participation levels. For this reason, we designed different activities and interactive methodologies, for example, using gamifications, collaborative work, and digital educational tools. The intention was to make students feel more involved, for example, or comfortable during only classes. Yes, and so here the next presentation is about the virtual transition challenge. Okay, here is very important because one of the biggest challenges was the transition from traditional classroom to online learning. Yes, and in face-to-face classes, teachers can observe students directly, identify reactions immediately, and maintain interactions more naturally. Yes. However, in virtual environments, communications become limited. But without proper digital mediation, for example, many students experience a lack of confidence. As a result, for all project, we observe, for example, silence during class, low participation, and reduced oral prediction in English and in Spanish too. This demonstrates that virtual education requires more than simple using a different platforms with activities. It requires intentional strategies to maintain interaction and motivation in all class. Okay, the next, my peers.
Theoretical framework. To understand how technology transforms online language learning, this study is built upon a multidimensional theoretical framework. We integrate four essential pillars: technological mediation, pedagogical content knowledge, human motivation, and virtual classroom management. Together, these dimensions guide for approach to moving A2 learners from passive isolation to active language production. The mediating nature of tech. Our first pillar is technological mediation. According to Howell Mayer, technology acts as an institutional mediator between the teacher and the pedagogical world, actively shaping how actions are carried out. To expand on this, Verb introduces behavioral scripts. Every digital tool contains a script that invites specific action while inhibiting others. For example, standard platforms often enforce passive, lecture-heavy styles. Our goal is to intentionally disrupt this traditional script using interactive strategies that encourage collaboration. The TPAC framework. Our second pillar focuses on pedagogical design to the TPAC framework by Mishra and Kohler. This model states that successful virtual instruction requires a dynamic intersection of content, pedagogical, and technological knowledge. In online English teaching, it is not enough to just know the language or the tool. Educators must understand how digital tools can transform linguistic input and how collaborative spaces or games can support specific interactive learning models. Good practice in virtual learning. Connected to TPAC, we define good practice in virtual learning to three core principles. Mutual interactive, that means establishing a structured dynamic interaction to build social connection and network. Active production, that is moving learners away from passive reception toward visible evidence or language application. And agile feedback, utilizing real-time interactive mechanisms to support diverse learning speed and optimize practices. These principles ensure technology effectively serves the communicative process. Self-determination theory. To spark student participation, our third pillar focuses on human motivation, grounded in the self-determination theory by Ryan and Deci. Intrinsic motivation thrives when three psychological needs are met: autonomy, competence, and social relatedness. In our virtual classroom, autonomy allows learners to guide their space. Competence helps them experience growth without fear of making mistakes. Finally, relatedness creates genuine connection with peers. Using Gamify and collaborative board really fulfills these needs, overcoming physical distance. Online classroom management. Our final pillar connects theory to practice through online classroom management, based on Morris. We focus our four foundational domains to maintain engagement. First, maximizing structure, clear outlining routines and a schedule block for every session. Second, encouraging responses, creating diverse, low-stakes opportunity to participate via chat or audio. Third, systematic praise, recognizing positive communicative behavior with contingent feedback. And the last one, lowering the affective filter, establishing safe error correction parameters that build linguistic confidence. By combining these four pillars, we build a robust environment where online active learning can truly thrive. With our theoretical foundation clearly established, I will now pass the floor to my colleague, who will guide us through the research methodology.
Okay, hello, my name is Laura Alejandro Mendez Marin. Present the research methodology, a systematic overview of the collaborative action research process, including contrastive pedagogical analysis and reflective field inputs. Okay, action research milestones. Um, Phase 1 context, detecting participation deficit and language use blocks in online classroom. Phase 2 design, shifting aesthetic lesson into interactive task orient virtual framework. Phase 3 action, deploying tools like Kahoot, Quizzes, Google Classroom, and Teams Rooms. And phase 4, evaluation, gathering qualitative evidence, field logs, and analyzing peer reflection. Okay, and the next qualitative research sources. Primary field logs. The qualitative analysis was rooted in extensive field logs, direct classroom observation, lesson plan variation, and interaction statistics recorded during professional practice in online environments, and collaborative refinement field observation were analyzed during weekly focus groups. We contrasted practical interaction harmless with educational theory to refine pedagogical strategies continuously.
Okay, now I will talk about the films and discussion. At this point, we can see that iteration of the ITC not only transform the way of we teach, but also how the students participate in the class. The data shows that when used a plain way, the digital tool helps contract possibility in the virtual environment on the foster more consistent interaction. Furthermore, one of the most important findings of the technology allows for the better response to connectivity problems faced with network failures or regional limitations. The use of the asynchronous materials, audio support, and emphatic communication helps maintaining motivation and trust between teachers and students. Another key change in the dynamics of the class, the teacher is no longer the source, sole source of the knowledge stakes on the young role, coordinating in coordinating interaction of the promote more meaningful activities. At the same time, students use no more active role, making their learning and participating with greater confidence. It's also evident that gamified applications and interactive activities allow for the quick and less pressed corrections, reduce anxiety when speak English. This is especially useful for the teacher how the typical chaotic or more insecure around their peers. Overall, the results confirm that ICT can help combat online learning infections, reduce fear of making mistakes, and promote peer collaboration more than just serving as technology support. This tool can humanize virtual space and strengthen pedagogical fancy. Furthermore, the final proportion is moved towards a more student-centered lesson with the positive stacks again professional development for the teacher and flexible strategies to respond to the digital relatives of each context. In this way, ICTA's case to be a more complete and become a pedagogical resource with real impact on language learning. In conclusion, the value of these strategies lies not only in the technology itself, but also on how it is used to create more active, engaging, and meaningful classes. Okay, thank you very much.
The major research conclusions. First, countering some fatigue, introducing structure, multimedia, and task transformate class climates, making them highly interactive. Two, reducing language anxiety, a gamified dynamic successfully lowered the fear of making errors among quieter language learners, promoting peer cooperation, utilizing breakout rooms and collaborative space systematically broke online silence, and four, humanizing virtual spaces. Technology serves as a bridge for genuine instructional empathy rather than just hosting games. And pedagogical action plans and student-centered design lesson that prioritize collaborative tasks over long lectures, and source educator receive ongoing practical training and managing interactive digital environments. Um, compassionate flexibility, establish adaptive participation channels that accommodates regional digital device, continue exploring how motivation evolves in hybrid and remote settings. The reference. Thank you for your attention.